Yeah. So when we're going into what you call the now of work, I know that you're describing it is like, how is calm, clarity, confidence, compassion, creativity, how are all of these important for an organization that is striving to innovate?
Yeah. So Addie, so first of all, thank you for the fact that you looked and understand what we do is so amazing, and I love the
Yeah.
question. So we love the letter C.
Yeah, I said like it's great that they are all in C. That it's good for you for when you remember what you're doing.
Yeah, and let's go beyond. We use the C's as well in our lifelong learning model about what people need to learn. It's all around the letter C too, but that'll be another conversation we have.
Yeah.
But if you follow that sort of the path of these, right? So we've actually you know how you just said it's hard, like the board has to change the way they think and the executives have to walk the walk, and you can't just talk. So if our business is about transforming organizations and building resilient, future-proof ones, we better walk the walk. And so early on in our business, what we did was we built the empathy, and so we talk about human-centered design. And so we talked to the executives, we talked to CEOs around North America at least. And we really unearthed what are they feeling and thinking and acting, saying as they're going through these transitions. This was before COVID, right? You and I know this exponential world has been going on for a long time.
Of course.
Right? And so anyway, what did we find out? Well, the number one thing that we found out, and now this accelerated through COVID, by the way, but the first thing we found was this idea of calm. When you really got to know these CEOs in person and intimately, they admit that this was the first time, now I'm talking through COVID, where they started to not underestimate, they started to wonder, do they have the capabilities? They're saying, I'm feeling really alone. A first time I felt ill-equipped to lead a company. And so there was so much happening, and now you're dumping on not just a pandemic, but you're dumping on all these exponential technologies right now. And the executive is saying is like, I should know what these terms are. I should have a better gauge. So let me just get to how these play in. Number one is, in our view, if you're going to go through massive transformation or even incremental, you've got to start with a place of calm. And so what we do is we'll help organizations demystify terms they think they know, but they really don't. Like the classic one today is NFTs. You know, everyone's talking about NFTs, and I go into boardrooms and they're talking NFTs, and all I have to do is ask one question, like, what does NFT really mean? And how is that going to affect your business? And so everyone's like, well, I don't know. Isn't it sports cards? Or sports play? Like they actually don't know. So the calm starts with this, is that if we can go into organizations and help the CEOs and executives feel more confident about the world that we're living in and where it's going, that's the first step in the transformation game. And so to us, again, human-centered design says, let's make sure we're coming from a calm place. So once we've got that done, then we move to confidence. And so if you can get to that point where people are feeling a little bit less stressed, help them to map out what this journey looks like, that the capabilities, Addie, I don't know what your views on this, but my view is actually most companies have the capabilities, or at least the core capabilities. They're just not using it properly. They're not upskilling, but they've got good talent. So we have to give them confidence that, yes, you can win. You're not alone. Here is a roadmap for us and how we're going to help you transform so you can feel confident in your future. Yeah. And so when we get to that confidence stage, then it gets to the compassion side. So here's the big thing around human centricity. We see so many companies just going, they're rolling out technologies and they're doing this and they're doing that, and they're sometimes forgetting about their people. So when we say you're going through transformation, particularly through COVID, is it anchored on solving the problems that your customers need solving and that your team members need you to be? And that's the compassion piece for the people and your stakeholders. So I'll get to the 4 C's and I'll pause so you can challenge me on somewhere there. And so once we get through compassion, so human-centered design, then we get to the fun part, which is creativity. And this is all around innovation. So we've gotten to the point of where you're going to invest, you've bought in. And so now, how are you going to win? It's challenging your old assumptions. It's about, unlocking and democratizing innovations throughout your organization and just doing new things, learning how to truly experiment. Like that's the creativity side. Like I said, challenging old assumptions, one of the greatest things you can do once you've got the confidence and compassion and that beacon for where you're going to. So we weave in these C's throughout our whole journey with organizations.